Hi, I'm Natalie. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a pescatarian dinner. We're going to start off by roasting our sweet potatoes whole for about 45 minutes in an oven at 425. And we're going to poke them first so that the steam can escape and they will cook faster. So just do that with each one all around. Okay, so I already have my oven preheated to 425 degrees. I'm just gonna pop these in there for about 45 minutes or until they get tender. So while the potatoes are baking, I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping our salmon. These have skin on it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and easily remove the skin. The reason why I cut it on the edge is so I can kind of get a grip on the skin. So while I hold it, you hold your knife flat that way and kind of just wiggle the skin, and the knife just goes straight through and the skin comes off super easy. Now we're going to season them. This is just a seasoning that I put together. It's not a specific seasoning. It's just a bunch of spices that I like together. A little bit of salt and pepper, some onion powder, some garlic powder, some paprika for color, a little bit of ginger, just because it's the holidays and ginger makes me feel like the holidays. We're going to add a little bit of cayenne pepper, just little pinches. Now to preheat the pan. Okay, so we're gonna put our pan on high heat. I would say about 2 tablespoons of oil. Once your oil moves like water, then it's hot enough. It looks like our oil is moving like water. And once you put them in, do not touch them, do not move them, because it will affect your color, the crust on the fish. And then we're gonna season the other side. Salt, lower the heat just a little bit. We're using all the same seasonings for the other side. Now we're gonna go ahead and add some lemon juice, but you have to be extremely careful when you're adding acid to a hot pan, because your pan can light on fire, literally. Slowly squeeze the lemon juice on it. And this is half a lemon we're squeezing in here. And we're gonna go ahead and look at the side looks good, so we're gonna give it a flip. And you see how that crust develops? That's all flavor. And right away, we're gonna put it into the oven. The oven is right now at 425. We're gonna let that hang out in there for about 7 to 10 minutes or until it's tender on the inside, still cooked, but still juicy at the same time. Now we're going to make the sauce that's gonna go on top of the salmon. It's a sour cream based sauce. I make this sauce with salmon all the time. We're gonna start with some sour cream, about 1.5 cups of sour cream, a little bit of like a splash of heavy cream just to make it more liquefied. We're going to add the juice of half of a lemon and the zest of half of the lemon as well. Zest adds a bright freshness to any sauce or anything you add it to. That's why I like to use it. And we're gonna add some onion powder, garlic powder, dried dill, salt, pepper, paprika, and a little bit of cayenne, dash of cayenne. So we're gonna mix that up until it's all well incorporated. And that's it. That is your sauce for your salmon. Our salmon looks ready, nice and tender, so we're gonna let that rest. Always let your proteins rest so that all the moisture and juiciness stays inside. Okay, so now we're gonna blanch our green beans. The way we blanch is we get some water up to a rolling boil, just like this. It has to be boiling like this, and it has to be heavily salted, because that way your vegetables will get flavor. So we're gonna go ahead and boil this for about 30 seconds or until they turn bright green. And once you see that they're bright green color, immediately take them out and shock them in an ice bath, which will stop the cooking process, and it'll maintain that bright, beautiful green color. And now they're ready to saute. So we're just gonna lightly saute them in a little bit of salt, pepper, butter, and lemon juice. Just keep it simple. When it comes to greens, I always keep it simple, because if you do too much, you overpower the flavor of the vegetable, and we don't want that. So, going to turn the stove on about a medium high. We're gonna let this pan get hot. All right, so now we're going to add our green beans to the pan. It seems hot enough. Be very careful. As you see, it's splashing everywhere. We're going to season with some salt and pepper. Half of a lemon. A little bit of garlic powder. And just a little bit of red pepper flakes for a slight kick. Get it all nice and coated in that butter. And that's it. Easy way to make green beans. Now we're going to make our caramel that's going to be running through our mashed sweet potatoes. We're going to start off by turning on the pan high heat. And we have about a stick of butter, maybe a little less than a stick of butter. As that's melting, we're going to add about a cup of brown sugar. Let that caramelize. Then we're going to add about a tablespoon of cinnamon. Try to watch out to not burn your sugar, because if it's burnt, you have to do the whole thing all over again. Nobody wants a burnt caramel. Also, don't move it so much, because then your sugar will crystallize and it'll be like rock candy, and we don't want rock candy. It smells so good. And once you see it starting to bubble up a little bit, we can add about a cup of chopped pecans right in there. And the pecans are gonna add a nice texture to the mashed sweet potatoes. Okay, so our pecan caramel looks ready. I'm gonna go ahead and take our sweet potatoes out and get them skinned and mashed up so we can add this to those potatoes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take the sweet potatoes out. They look just about right. Perfect. Okay, so now we're ready to skin our sweet potatoes, which is a tricky one because they're really hot. So what I do is, what's easy for me is I use 2 forks, and these sweet potatoes look perfectly done. As you can see, they're nice and soft. So we're just gonna roll the skin off. Be careful not to burn yourself. Okay, so now we're going to just see how easy it just mashes. You no longer have to boil potatoes. You could just roast them, skin them, and it's mashed. And now we're gonna add this amazing pecan, sugar, cinnamon, buttery deliciousness. And just lightly fold it in. Oh my gosh, this smells amazing. There you have your mashed sweet potatoes with a pecan caramel swirl. Okay, so this is our finished product. For anyone who doesn't eat meat or who just prefers to have fish this time, this is the perfect meal. It tastes delicious. Okay, my foodies, thanks for watching. Make sure you stay tuned in for my next meal. If you would like some more recipes or ideas, just follow my Instagram at Chef Natalie M.